Okay, starting streaming. Right now I'm just testing the audio. Everything else is pretty much set up. What's going on, everybody? The stream will be in a little over an hour. I have to tweet that so folks know, so that they're like, oh, okay, let's come over and let's watch the stream and blah 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 and everything like that. Um, Also want to make sure that I have the anime set up and all of that. Right now I've got Cardcaptor Sakura right here, so which is a phenomenal anime, as y'all might already know. But I'm just trying to make sure that that's set up because what I've noticed is when I'm watching the video, um, of my streams when I've been using the new camera, there's like a weird audio thing that happens with when I'm speaking versus the sound that comes out, and I think it's not like it might not be incredibly noticeable, but I notice it and I don't like it. So I've been trying to sort of mess around with that. I probably should have done that yesterday, but I didn't want to do too much. I didn't want to do too much on last night because I was really tired and I taught yesterday. I had taught yesterday and I really just kind of wanted to go to sleep. But I just want to make sure that it sort of works out. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop talking right now. I'm gonna sort of see where the sound is on the stream, and if it's fine, great. And if it's not, then I have to adjust the sync the sync offset a bit. And if I can do that, then great. What's up? What's up, page one? Let me know what's going on with the audio. If the audio is like perfect, let me know. If the audio is like off for whatever reason, let me know, because I feel like the video is either a little bit faster than I feel like the video is a little bit off from the audio, and I just want to make sure that that's fine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop talking, and then I'm gonna okay, so the audio is fine. Okay, good. Okay, so let me. All right, so what I'm gonna do. Okay, good. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop. We won't be able to hear. You won't be able to hear the audio from the anime itself, just because I think the audio is one of the quickest ways that like copyright strikes get just kind of dealt out. So no audio. Although I could set it up. I've done that in the past for like sort of like panel streams and stuff like that. Because with a Mac you have to download the software and then you have to set up like a multi-output device. You have to do all this stuff, all this extra stuff that you can't do on that you can't do on a Mac. Well, you have to do all this extra stuff that you have to do on a Mac because you wouldn't have to do on like a Microsoft laptop or something else. So I'm kind of glad that I don't have to do that. This is actually relative. It's not. I would say if you take like a few hours out of your day, a lot of the stuff is very easy to sort of like figure out, like how to sort of set up the thing so the anime is on the, part of the screen, and that sort of thing. But a lot of this stuff is very easy to set up. So I've got my Verve account. All right. So if I play this, you can probably see it. You can see Keto-chan and Sakura, and it's pretty cool. And that's the opening for the first season, I guess, which is a classic opening. All right. So that's something that I'm gonna probably do in the future for the fundraising streams. Every anime stream that I do in the future will be a fundraising stream. One of the reasons, again, like I said yesterday in the first test, but one of the reasons why I avoided doing anime streams is because I didn't want to go into like the whole, I gotta set up the screen to look like this and do this and like all this extra stuff. Ugh. I was just like, I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to read manga, have a good time, and talk with folks, and that's it. But now that I've sort of shifted gears and I want to do different things, and I want my channel to better reflect like one, my politic, and two, also just I want it to be more in line with like advocacy work and organizing and stuff like that. It just made sense for me to do anime because anime is just like infinitely more attention grabbing, so to speak. Like I in the future I may do manga streams, but like it would really like the manga. I don't know which manga people would like be like, yo, if there's like hundreds of people will come in for this particular manga, as opposed to hundreds of people coming in for like an anime. Anime just kind of draws people in a way that in manga does not, unless it's like One Piece or something. And even that, unless it's like a One Piece read through, you know, or like something that's super super popular, like a manga that was super super popular is still super super popular. Like maybe like My Hero or My Hero read through, something like that. Both of which I've already sort of like read. At the moment, I'm not reading, but you know, it is what it is. So, you know what I mean? That's just kind of how it is. Like people prefer anime to manga in a lot of ways when it comes to like streaming events and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, let me start streaming. Let me get it done. And so it's 12:57. I'm gonna put out a tweet saying, hey, it's in an hour. Come through, watch some Dorohedoro with me, and donate. All right. Once again, I'm working with Books Beyond Bars UK, which is a collective of volunteers that send books send books, you know, they're different educational materials and other things to incarcerated LGBTQ IA plus folks, and in the UK. I also have plans to work with other collectives and other orgs and other grassroots groups. So that's sort of the goal. At least in that sense, to kind of have that done and to sort of schedule that. But also like to sort of like work more sort of closely. The only reason I can't sort of work more closely in certain ways is just because it's a pandemic. You know, like my partner, she's immunocompromised, so I'm not doing that. It's like, yes, organizing is important to me, but there are other ways to organize where I don't put other folks in danger, you know? So that's where that is. Okay, so I'm gonna end the stream now if the audio's fine and it's perfect and everybody's good. And I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go and like take a shower because I need a shower. It's because it's like 12:58. It's way too late. It's way too late. I need a shower. All right. Yeah. Oh, okay. You changed the name. Okay, cool. Yeah. The Yona of the Dawn and Battle Angel Alita, Alita, Battle Angel Alita Last Order. I was on Last Order. I'm almost done with Last Order actually, I believe. So I'm gonna get back to that. The Shonen Jump manga. That's just something I'm not reading at the moment. It just feels skeevy for me. I'm not getting on anybody who decides to read Shonen Jump manga because I have a lot of friends who do, and I'm like, fine, cool, like whatever, like that's not my decision to make. That's like it's the decision that I made for myself. But if other folks like reading the Shonen Jump manga and that's what they want to do, great, that's fine. I just can't support it in the way that I used to, and that's kind of where I'm at. But I'm not getting on anybody else because they're like, yo, like, hey, I'm just gonna keep up with the manga that I'm still reading and I'm doing this and that, and like, fine, whatever, cool, do you. The pandemic has been it's been rough in some ways, great in others. Like in some ways, like I get to talk with my I got to talk with and hang out with my partner more, hang out with my cats, so that's been great. I think I've like been closer to a lot of people just through online and like setting up Zoom chats and talking with folks and like getting into contact with people that I hadn't talked to in like years. Like it's like one of my best friends I hadn't talked to her in like years, and we talked and that was awesome. And so we have plans to like talk periodically and stuff like that, and it's great. So I think in some ways the pandemic has been rough, like just to see how many folks have been just like devastated by it, but in other ways it's sort of created this need to be in community with folks. I think like that's how I would say it, in a way that I think other people, and in a way that like, at least for me, I wasn't really in community with folks in the same way that I am now. So that's been good. Like it's been more bittersweet, I guess I would call it, but it's it's good to be back and sort of like streaming and in front of the camera in this capacity, and just like being able to to talk with people, and to watch anime and to read manga. I'm gonna start getting back to it next week. Next week I'll be reacting to Yona and as well as Alita. That'll probably be like on Tuesday, maybe even tomorrow, depending on what I read. Tomorrow's probably going to be Yona because with Alita, there's a lot that I have to like refresh my memory on. And with Yona, there also is, but it's not as much material. Like I started Alita before I started. Well, I started Yona before I started Alita, but I continued with Alita for way longer. So I've read a lot more material for Alita than I had for Yona. But I right, so like there's just a lot more that I have to like look into, read, and like catch up on and refresh my memory on. Because like the politics are complicated in a way that they're not in Yona. That's not to say that Yona's politics aren't like great and nuanced. It's just Alita's like there are all these like names and all these organizations and all these factions, and they're all really important in terms of like understanding like what's going on, and you have to remember the names of like moves and the martial arts and why how those martial arts work and why fights end up the way that they end in the ways that they do. And I also had like a whole I had a thing that I was working on with Patreon where I put out a video talking about martial arts in Alita and why it matters and how it relates and how certain battles sort of like portray like a clash of certain types certain like philosophies. I think in the first video I was talking about how like Alita versus Makaku is a very particular sort of a clash with Alita, who doesn't really have a sort of like defined kind of philosophy that she follows. She's sort of in search of it. She's sort of trying to find it and trying to reconnect with that because of her amnesia. And Makaku is like very enmeshed in his sort of like warped view of Nietzsche's concept of the Übermensch and what's sort of going on there. In terms of like the soul and the body and which of the two is sort of more not valuable but how they sort of function in how they function like together, or how they co-function, I guess that's a better word. So that's kind of what I was talking about. But and that was really fun, and it was great to sort of do that, to like do the research for that and to do the reading for that. But I want to continue that, but I can't do that unless I like read through Alita, because there's like so much. With Yona, I can like read through certain volumes and like refresh my memory on names, and there are things that I remember because I had read Yona fairly recently, so I'm good on that. So I'll start with Yona on Tuesday. Maybe I'll react to a new manga and check that out. I've been thinking about adding a manga that like is sort of light and fun and like just interesting. I've been thinking about Black Lagoon because people really love Black Lagoon, but I've also been thinking about seeing if Black Lagoon is an anime that I might react to in the future for my fundraising streams, because I know people probably love that anime. So I'm like, it's like, I don't know. All right, so we'll see. But I'm gonna go because it's 1:05. I got to shower. I got to like get everything set up. I got to tweet. I got to make sure the donation links are where they need to be. And I'll be back at 2:05 p.m. All right, 2:10. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna stop streaming. All right. So thank y'all for coming through. Shout out to Spider Shot MC, or AKA Kyo7, page 1, for coming through. Thank you for letting me know if the audio was good and everything like that. And I'm gonna get out of here because I got stuff to do. And I got streaming to do at like 2:05, 2:10. All right. And I also have a reading group meeting that like I'm gonna have to be at like pretty much right after, like a bit after the stream. So there's a lot to do. All right. So I'm gonna go. Shouts out to y'all, all y'all for coming through for this test stream. And once again, it's like, it's so weird doing it, but like I always used to do it all the time. But like, I'm the Black Manga Critic, and I'm out ya.